Good morning to everyone. First of all, allow me to thank the organizers for this great meeting. This is a great opportunity of cooperation between our countries, and we need to make the best use of it as an opportunity to discuss and better coordinate our efforts in improving connectivity in the Euro-Asian region through the infrastructure projects. Let me give you an overall background of Albania. Albania country is situated in the Balkan Peninsula with a long Adriatic and Ionian coastline. In recognition to its outstanding natural beauty, Albania was listed 4th on the New York Times editorial 52 places to go in 2014. The country's location offers investors significant advantages with strategic access to European and regional markets. Tirana, the capital of the country, is situated in the heart of the region. It has all the transport modes active, good road connections, short traveling times with Macedonia, Montenegro, Bosnia and Kosovo, as well as excellent travel connections with all major European destinations and beyond. Albania has presence all kinds of transports, such as road, rail, air, maritime, and pipeline transport. We have continued working on the development of the transport networks in the region and beyond. The Albanian government is orienting its policy making towards sustainability and optimization of its infrastructure and infrastructure planning. The Ministry of Infrastructure and Energy is working to accelerate the integration of the transport system and to establish an integrated market consisting of infrastructure and transport by land, sea, and inland waterways. Considering that the transport infrastructure is fundamental to the economic and social development of the country, as a direct contributor to the economic growth and employment, the public-private partnership model has proven to be an effective collaborator aiding to the governance of the country. Currently, we have identified and approved the national and regional short-term and mid-term goals, again, related to our transport network. Investments in the core transport network and corridors have been prioritized through the single sector project pipeline, a process which was launched in 2015. The prioritization is done on the basis of evaluation and ranking methodology, which is based on 3 eligibility criteria and 14 strategic relevance criteria. Currently, for the years 2016-2017, 29 transport infrastructure projects have been prioritized and are included in the priority list. Having in mind the last developments in the region, our core transport network is now part of the TEN-T network, the Trans-European Network, and according to its methodology, shall be completed by 2030. In addition to the infrastructure project, the completion of future infrastructure projects will be a good signal and stimulus for the future of people in this region that can also contribute to the further development and cohesion of the Western Balkans region. Albanian transport sector has achieved good progress in the past year 2016 by adopting legislation and preparing strategic documents, such as the Transport Sectorial Strategy, which aims to further develop the national transport system in Albania, in the region and beyond. There is further potential for development and cooperation in the region, and in order to achieve these energies from our cooperation, it's necessary to better coordinate the common infrastructure planning, financing of their implementation, but also the maintenance and sustainability of our investments. Another booster of fruitful cooperation would be the further liberalization of transport services in the region through the removal of non-physical barriers. Simplification of services at the border is seen as a necessity. In this framework, currently we are also working on the connectivity reform measure plan, aiming at the reduction of bottlenecks and non-physical barriers together with other World Bank regional partners. The World Economic Forum ranked Albania as the country with the best road infrastructure in the Western Balkans. In the latest Global Competitiveness Report, the Economic Forum assesses the quality of roads in Albania by 4.3 out of 7, which is the maximum estimate for the region. Nevertheless, historical data from the report show that Albania is one of the countries with the greatest improvement of road infrastructure in the last decade. In 2008, it ranked 11th and 14th in the world by quality of the roads. Within 5 years, we jumped to 59th place, while currently we are holding 57th place in the world. Although it's ranked the first in the region compared with developed European Union countries, Albania continues to lag behind. According to Economic Forum, in developed European countries, the quality of roads is averaged at 5.6, which means that Albania will still have to invest billions of euros to build a modern road network that helps the economy. In parallel, the data shows that in other aspects of infrastructure, especially rail and air transport, Albania ranks in the last 30 countries in the world. On December 2016, the Albanian government has launched a new project, $1 billion for reconstruction. It's a national program. The program aims to mobilize a substantial capital to promote at a much higher intensity than it has been so far, a comprehensive process of reconstruction which has already started but which needs a massive funding nationwide for road infrastructure, educational infrastructure, and health infrastructure. Now let's go to the road transport. The Albanian National Road Network, estimated by the studies carried out by the Albanian Road Authority, is of 3,848 kilometers of national roads. All roads' primary network and about 2/3 of the total length of the secondary network are paved. About 48% of the total length of the main network and 21% of secondary network walks on flat land, while 34% of the main network and 56% of secondary road network is located in mountainous terrain. Corridors leading to international interest for Albania are the Adriatycki Highway Expressway, Route 1 and Route 2, included in the indicative extension of TEN-T Mediterranean Corridor, which encompasses the Croatian border, bar the Albanian border to Montenegro territory, and this is Route 1. And for the Route 2 is the Albanian North-South Corridor linking Montenegro border with the Greek border through the Albanian territory. Next is the East-West Corridor, part of Pan-European Corridor 8, which connects countries of Central Europe with Black Sea through the port of Durrës. Route 7, Niš-Prishtina-Durrës, which connects the Adriatic-Ionian Corridor through Pristina, with indicative extension of TEN-T Orient East Med Corridor. The Chinese companies are welcome to participate through PPPs in road infrastructure projects. Now, maritime transport. We have 322 kilometers of coastline and 4 main ports, which are Durrës, Vlora, Saranda, and Shëngjini. The development of maritime infrastructure is indispensable, not only for the connectivity, but also for the economic development of the country. We are currently investing in almost all ports of Albania to improve and upgrade infrastructure and superstructure, and introduce by concession modern processing technologies, such as containers, silos, etc., targeting the orientation of the ports towards market economy. The rehabilitation and upgrade of port infrastructure and superstructure of Durrës, Vlora, Saranda, Shëngjini ports are considered as a necessary process to increase also docking capacities, processing and effectiveness of service for good ships and passenger ferries, thus creating access also to the development of maritime tourism. The highly advantageous geographical location of Durrës makes the port the larger port of Albania and among the largest of the Adriatic and Ionian seas, covering almost 78% of the processing of passengers and goods in Albania. Currently, 3 out of 4 port terminals are given in concession, and the 4th terminal is operated by the Port Authority. Projects for the rehabilitation of quays 7 and 8 with funds from the package of the EIB and EBRD are completed. In the port of Lora, we have an ongoing project for the rehabilitation of the port infrastructure and superstructure. Construction of a new quay for ferry and ro-ro processing and goods processing quay. The funding of about 15.3 million euros is provided by the Italian Corporation. It is foreseen to be completed within this year. The port of Saranda. It is built the new quay for cruise ships with a funding of 4.7 million USDs from the World Bank, and it's fully operable. The port of Shangini, on the basis of the project for the rehabilitation of the port of Shangin, with a funding of about 3.6 million euros, funded by IPA 2008 and the government of Albania, was built the new quay and squares for processing the goods. The port has already finished dredging of the quay with financing of the state budget and now is operational even for ferries and for efficient processing of different freight goods ships, not only for the Albanian export-import, but also for those transit to Kosovo and beyond. Sorry. One of the main priorities of the government of Albania is the construction through concession with national and foreign capital of the tourist ports, marinas, for the accommodation of yachts and other vessels in accordance with the needs of maritime transport and passengers and tourism development. In this regard, some tourist ports are in concession procedure. Albanian railway transport. The Albanian railway consists of 447 kilometers of main rail line and 230 kilometers secondary rail line. It is extended from Durrës port in 4 directions. In north, in the border of Albania and Montenegro, in south, with the railway station of Balsh, in east, in the railway station near Macedonian cross-border, and again in east towards Tirana capital. The railways in Albania are administered by the national railway company Hekuruda Shqiptare. On December 2016, the Parliament of the Republic of Albania approved the Railway Code of the Republic of Albania. It shall enter into force 1 year after publication, which is January 2018. Regarding the railway infrastructure, the Paris High-Level Summit held on July 2016 produced concrete results for Albania. The rehabilitation construction of the railway Tirana-Rinas-Durrës in a total of 91.5 million euros was one of the projects selected to be supported from the EU and the EBRD. This decision reflected the fulfillment of Vienna Summit obligations, especially the soft measures, and the existence of the strategic documents in the field of transport. The rehabilitation of the railway infrastructure sector is intended initially through some internal measures, aiming to increase the transport volumes, mainly from the port of Durrës railway connection. Albania aims to improve the railway links with its neighbors, and after a close cooperation with Montenegrin counterpartners, Tuzi Railway Joint Station started the operation on 10th of July, before Trieste High-Level Summit 2017. A grant from the WBIF of 720,000 euros will finance the feasibility study for the railway line Durrës-Rogozhina, Elbasani-Pogradec-Lin Macedonian border, which is part of the Corridor 8 and the comprehensive network CETA. We are fully convinced that this railway line should be included in the core network CETA and hope the study shall demonstrate that. Another grant from the WBIF of 4.5 million euros will finance the detailed design for the rehabilitation of Vlora-Hani-Hotit, Montenegrin border, railway line that is only international link. Albania has and hence it's the most important one after Durrës-Tirana-Arlinas railway section. After completing the detailed design, we are confident that from the WBIF and DBRD, we will receive the necessary funding for the rehabilitation of this very important railway line for the Albanian railways and the economy either. A concession contract for the operation and maintenance of the railway Fieri-Balci and Fieri-Vlora was signed on February 2016, and it's being implemented. There exists an expression of interest from the Chinese side to be committed in the realization of the important railway projects through the PPP and other leasing schemes. The air transport. Albania's only international transport is Tirana International Airport Non-Teresa. It is the only port of entry for air travels in the country. The airport offers international connections among many major countries and beyond. China Everbright Limited now owns 100% of shares of TIA capital stock since October 2016. In 2016, the government of Albania reached an agreement with Tirana International Airport on ending its monopoly on flights, opening the way to the international operations of Kukës Airport in the northern part of Albania. Another project we are planning is to build an airport in the south part of Albania, giving it access to the vast tourism potential of the Albanian part of the Ionian Sea. Multimodal transport. According to the Transport Sectorial Strategy 2016-2020, the strategic objectives regarding the development of intermodal and combined transport are defined, aiming at the development of multimodal transport in Albania by linking Albanian ports with those of neighboring countries, especially in the axis Corridor 8, Route 2, and connections of the port of Durrës, Vlora, and Shëngjini with Kosovo. In this regard, in order to promote the intermodal and combined transport, our priority actions for the future include the creation of intermodal logistics centers to facilitate multimodal transport, the construction of the missing links from the western terminal in Durrës to the national railway network, and also the definition of a multimodal national intelligent transport system strategy. In conclusion, having in mind the importance of the Belt and Silk Road Initiative and the favorable geographic position for Albania, we look forward to the further integration into European and Asian transport network, as well as economic, tourism, and social systems. Albania is open and supportive of any efforts and interest for the investments and credit in order to develop a modern infrastructure according to the European and international standards. Finally, I'd like to express my commitment and belief that these aspirations will soon be accomplished with the support of all the partners. Thank you to everybody.
Thank you very much. For full picture from Albania, Mrs. Dorina Cinari, the Deputy Minister of Energy and Industry of Albania.